Good morning, everyone. Just wait a minute for a few more to join. Lovely to see some names I recognise. Welcome back to the Florida Keys. Just check that the... Okay, I think that's probably... No more people have come in the last few seconds. So we'll get underway because we only have 15 minutes. But good morning. Lovely to welcome some of you back. My name's Emma Cashmore and I'm with the UK office of the Florida Keys and Key West. So I'm going to share my screen and take you on a tropical journey down the Florida Keys this morning. So let's see if this works. Okay. Right, slideshow. So the Florida Keys and Key West, we're the string of islands underneath the coast of Florida. Miami International Airport is about a 60-minute drive away from us, and the Florida Keys actually consists of over 800 islands, small and large, but there are 5 distinct islands, which are Key Largo, Isla Murada, Marathon, Big Pine Key and the Lower Keys, and Key West. The weather is wonderful all year round, with summer highs averaging 31 degrees and lovely warm winters. So getting to the Florida Keys, there are direct flights to Miami International Airport. You could also fly into Great Fort Lauderdale. So I mentioned from Miami, it's about a 60-minute drive. From Fort Lauderdale, it's about a 90-minute drive. But also, people don't realise there is an international airport in Key West. So you could actually fly into Miami, do the beautiful drive down, and then fly out via from Key West via Atlanta or other hubs in the US back to the UK. That's actually a great option to do because you check your luggage in Key West and you pick it up in the UK. And actually you only need to get to Key West Airport about 1 hour before your flight departs. So you can literally leave your sun lounger and head to the airport to get home. So throughout the Florida Keys, we actually have what we call mile markers, which mark your way down. And we start up in Key Largo at mile 110 and end in Key West at mile marker 0. Now, every hotel or attraction, its postcode will be its mile marker number. So it's super easy to get around. When you get to your mile marker number, you know you then need to turn off. So we're going to start our journey in Key Largo, which we call the dive capital of the world. And it's home to the second largest barrier reef. So up in Key Largo, you have the John Pennekamp Coral Reef State Park, which is America's oldest marine preservation. Here you'll find many corals, seagrass and mangrove forests to explore. There are over 600 different species of fish and 55 species of coral here. In addition to diving, you can go kayaking, take glass bottom boat rides, you could go snorkeling, or just have a simple picnic on the beach. Off the coast here, you'll also find many shipwrecks, including the American naval ship, the Spiegel Grove. This is one of the largest ships ever sunk to make an artificial reef, and it lies at almost 40 metres deep. And at the beginning of this shipwreck, then you have a 160-kilometre long shipwreck trail that you can go and dive and explore.
Emma, sorry to interrupt. Your presentation seems to be staying on the first slide.
Oh.
I don't know if you're moving through it.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I think you may have needed to click present.
Oh. Let me try again. So can you see it there?
Yes, we can see your full screen. We can see from beginning, from current slide in the top left, and all the slides down the left-hand side as well.
So can you see now from current slide, I'm on gateway to the Everglades National Park?
Yes, we can see that, yeah.
Okay, and now can you see canal cruises?
No.
Okay, so it's not clicking.
Oh, we see Bayside Resorts now. Yeah.
I've come out of slideshow. What about if I go into reading view?
Okay, we've gone back to the first slide.
Can you see the next slide?
Yes, that's perfect. Yeah,
Can you
that's
see that slide? Okay, perfect.
Thank you very
Sorry.
much. Sorry to interrupt.
Thank you. Sorry, everyone. So we'll just come straight back to the gateway to the Everglades National Park slide, and I can share the presentation with anyone after. But Key Largo is also the gateway to the Everglades National Park. It's where the fresh water of the Everglades mixes with the seawater of the Florida Bay. And as you venture into the Everglades, you get into what we call the backwater country. So you can take a boat trip from the Everglades, from Key Largo to the Everglades, which takes about an hour, 1.5 hours. And that's a really unique trip to do. You'll see alligators and crocodiles mixing together in their natural habitat. And then for any film buffs, you may recognise this boat. It's the African Queen from the film The African Queen, which starred Humphrey Bogart and Katharine Hepburn. And visitors can actually take a ride in the very same boat from Key Largo. And up in Key Largo, you have lots of bayside resorts. So they're on the Gulf of Mexico. The water is very calm and tranquil, turquoise blue like this. It's a very relaxing area. And next we come down to Isla Murada. Isla Morada is about a 40-minute drive down from Key Largo. And we call Isla Murada the sport fishing capital of the world. It's a year-round fishing destination, and you can fish marlin, tuna, hunt pike or tarpon, any fish you can imagine. You can also do backcountry fishing and watch the sunset as well. Up in Isla Murada, we have Robbie's Marina, which is a great stop-off point. There's a great restaurant here. It's great to grab a beer or a fish sandwich. And here you can feed the tarpon. So you buy a bucket of fish. It's about $5 now. And you come onto this boardwalk here, you hang over the edge and you dangle the fish over the sea, and the tarpon come out and take the fish from your hand. But you have to be careful because the pelicans are there sat watching, also trying to pinch the fish. So great activity to break up the journey and for children as well. And other than fishing, Isla Murada also has a vibrant island art scene. It's a perfect spot to seek out a souvenir or two. Some local artists are there, homemade jewellery and antiques. And up in Isla Murada, you have some beautiful, charming beachfront lodging. So next we come down to Marathon. So from Isla Murada, Marathon is also a further 40 minutes or so drive. And Marathon is really the heart of the Florida Keys. It's a really peaceful destination. It's quite family orientated. There's lots of wildlife activities to do here. And it's particularly known for the 7-mile bridge. And pictured here is Pigeon Key, which is at the end of the 7-mile bridge. And it's one of the most impressive parts of the overseas highway. Now, Pigeon Key actually is a museum, and it actually tells the story of the rail workers that originally built this railway, which was called the Henry Flagler Railroad. And the railroad was the only thing that connected Key West to the mainland Florida. So up in Marathon, you have the Turtle Hospital, which is a big draw for many people. Here, when any turtles are spotted off the shores of the Florida Keys, they'll send out their turtle ambulance, and they'll go and rescue the turtles and bring them back to the Turtle Hospital to fix them up, do surgery, rehabilitate them, and release them back into the wild. So you can actually do a tour around here. It's not for profit. Talk to some of the doctors and surgeons and meet some of the turtles, from baby turtles to the great giant leatherbacks. We also have the Dolphin Research Centre, which again is a non-profit charity set up to help and protect injured dolphins or those that can't be released back into the wild. But here people can come and really learn about this fantastic species and how we can kind of protect the waters to help them live on. And we also have the Florida Keys Aquarium Encounter, where you can actually get in and feed the sharks if you want to. So being surrounded by ocean, of course, we've got fabulous seafood. You can get all sorts of seafood. My favourite is the stone crab claws. Actually, what you can also do, as fishing is so popular, many restaurants will allow you to take your catch into them and they'll cook it fresh for you. And in terms of family resorts, you've got the Hawke's Cay Resort up here, which also has dolphins in a lagoon. It has numerous pools, children's club, villa accommodation and hotel suites. And next we come down to Big Pine Key and the Lower Keys. Again, this is about a 40-minute drive on from Marathon, so it's always short little stops. Here we have the Bahaya Honda State Park. The beach here was voted one of America's top 10 beaches, and it really is a tranquil getaway. So you'd come to the park to do all of your water activities, so snorkeling, kayaking, swimming, diving, or you could just chill out on the beach. They have some lovely kind of picnic spots as well for you to grab a sandwich and a drink. And in the Lower Keys, we have the Great White Heron National Wild Refuge, which stretches over several islands and waters and obviously is home to the great white heron. This bird is the largest wading bird in North America and can only be found in the Florida Keys and the southernmost part of Florida. And these shallow waters are great to kayak around. You can also hire a little speedboat, very cost effective, and take a Sunday picnic out to one of our sandbars, or you can actually do day trips to some of the larger sandbars as well, which is a great experience. And we have the National Key Deer Refuge. So these little animals, they're about 2 foot tall. They're really cute. There are over 750 of them just wandering around the Lower Keys. So often you'll drive down, speed restrictions are in place, and you'll see them on the edge of the road or at the Bahaya Honda Park. You might find them swim up to shore because they're also swimming deer. But this National Key Deer Refuge is a vast area of pine forest, tropical hardwood trees, mangroves, and you'll find lots of different rare plants and other animal species here. And down in the Lower Keys, there are a lot of RV parks. So if you're kind of doing an RV tour, this is a nice place to kind of pitch up and camp out. From the Lower Keys, we have our private island retreat just off Torch Key, which is called Little Palm Island. It's super exclusive. You take a seaplane out to it or a speedboat, small villa units. You can dine in the water, concierge service, very lovely for honeymoon retreats. And then finally, we come down to Key West, so another 40 minutes on. And Key West is a small metropolis. It's just 4 miles by 2 miles wide. It's a really kind of walkable destination, and it's very lively and busy. So where the other keys, they're kind of relaxing and outdoors. When you come down to Key West, we say we're close to perfect, far from normal. Here you'll get a kind of vibrant birds and different activities to see. So because it's so small, we always recommend to leave your car at the hotel or take it back to the car rental, because it's easy to walk around or use some of our alternative transport, such as the conch trolley trains, or even taking bikes out. Most hotels will rent bikes, or you could do a cycle tour. And we have lots of museums down in Key West, such as the Custom House, the Shipwreck Museum, the Lighthouse Museum, and Truman Little White House. But then we also have the Ernest Hemingway Homer Museum, which is my absolute favourite. Hemingway was undoubtedly the most famous former inhabitant of Key West, and his home and writing studio is open to the public to go in and learn about his life and his antics in Key West. And a fun fact for you, he had a love for cats, and he had over 60 cats, but these cats were different because they actually had 6 toes. And you can see in the picture how big the cat's paws are there. And to this day, when you go around his house, you'll see the 6-toed cats. being at the most southernmost point of the continental United States, you have the most perfect sunsets. So a nightly sunset sail is a great way to see the sunset from the water. Or you have the Mallory Square sunset celebrations, which take place every night. Your hotels will tell you what time the sun is going to set, and you'll have street performers, you'll have outdoor places offering drinks and snacks and arts and crafts there. And as the sun sets, the square just erupts into an applause of clapping. So I mentioned the Key West nightlife. You have everything from different music every night in Sloppy Joe's bar or fine dining restaurants to wine bars to local shacks. So there's something for everyone. And then just 65 miles west of Key West, you've got the Fort Jefferson Dry Tortugas National Park. This is a great day trip. It's an all-day day trip leaving at 8 a.m. and returning at 5 p.m. You can get there by ferry or by seaplane. And when you're here on the national park, you're just surrounded by the ocean, beautiful sandy beaches, again, great for snorkeling, water activities. But Fort Jefferson, what you can see in the middle, is also a museum and is a great, great tour around. And here's my contact information and my colleague Fenella, who I'm sure most of you have met across the past year. We're both based in the UK. We're here to help you with any of your customers' inquiries or any inquiries that you have. And we'd just love to welcome you and your guests down back to the Florida Keys. Now, I hope everyone got the polls. Sorry about the hiccup there with the presentation. Does anyone have any questions? I'll just quickly check the chat.
Thanks very much, Emma. It's great to hear all about Florida Keys and Key West.
I wish I was there now. I mean, what's without summer?
Don't we all? Don't we all? Great. Okay. Yeah. So if anyone has any questions for Emma, please pop them in the chat. And one thing I was wondering is, for first-time visitors to Florida Keys and Key West, there's obviously so much to see and do. What kind of itinerary would you recommend? So what are the kind of the must-dos and the highlights that you'd recommend for them?
So we always say that don't just visit one of the keys, you need to kind of visit several of the keys. So generally an itinerary we would recommend would be to fly into Miami. If you want to have a couple of nights in Miami, great. And then drive down to Key Largo, have a night or two in the Upper Keys. It's really beautiful up in the Upper Keys because the water is always so calm. And you can do all of the activities like the Penny Camp Park and the Everglades. And then in the middle of the Keys, you've got the Dolphin Research Centre and such. And then you can either drive down to Key West. You really do want to have about 4 or 5 days in Key West because even though it's so small, there's so much to do there. And the food and just the whole vibe. And often in normal times, you'll find a festival of some sort going on. And then if you're driving back up, then we would recommend a stop in Marathon, the heart of the Keys, and just chill out there before you head back. On my personal last holiday to the Keys, because I travel there every year when I can, I'm desperate for them to open the borders. I do fly out of Key West, so I do the drive down and I do Key Largo, Marathon, and I visit different places and then end in Key West. And it's just so fantastic doing that way. I literally left my sun lounge at 10 minutes, left 10 minutes to get to the airport, got to the airport, checked in security, had time to grab a coffee before I got on the plane. And then it's, a short stop in Atlanta I did, and then back home. So, definitely visit all of the Keys because there is so much to offer and it's idyllic.
Great, thank you. Alison is asking, which resort would you recommend for beginner divers?
So definitely Key Largo as the area. And you can actually go with a number of dive schools, and I can actually send a follow-up of a list of some dive schools which they cater for beginner divers, but also you can kind of do your PADI up there as well. And although there are deep reefs, there are also more shallow reefs to get you more familiar with it all. But because in Key Largo you've got the second great largest Great Barrier Reef, you'll see so much. The coral heads are massive and so many different species of fish without having to go down too deep. So definitely Key Largo.
Okay, great. We're just about out of time, so just very, very briefly, quick fire. Daryl's asked, where is the best place to get key lime pie?
Everyone asks that. It depends how you like your pie. I mean, you've got Kermit's key lime pie. You've got the hotels will sell the key lime pie. It's just dependent on how you like it. You can get deep fried key lime pie. I personally like to go to local places. Actually, Blue Heaven in Bahama Village is a great restaurant. It does great breakfast, actually. But for me, that's probably my favourite key lime pie.
Great, thanks. I can see there's lots of love for Florida Keys and Key West in the chat there. So that's great. Thanks very much, Emma.
Thank you, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.
And before you head on to a short break, please do answer the polls with the questions in the polls tab for the chance to win prizes. And we're now going to take a quick break and come back for the Malta Tourism Authority's training in training room 4 at 10:45. So we will see you there then. Thanks again, Emma.
Thanks, guys.